But I just wanted to interrupt this just for a split second because Babul Supriyo is with us, Minister of State for Heavy Industries and Public Enterprises, and maybe we can ask also some of these questions. Babul Supriyo, thank you so much, sir, for joining us on this. And you know, we've been strong advocates and passionate followers of the Banega Swachh India campaign and to try and make India as clean as possible. A couple of the recent questions that have just come up in the last 10 minutes, maybe you've been listening, I just wanted to get your take on that. Jayaji asking, where can people plant trees if that's really what we want to do? And Amitji also asking about manual scavenging. So I'm going to throw those two at you and then, you know, perhaps look at some of the other things that are being done as well.
Amit sir, namaskar to you first of all. It's great to have the greatest actor of all times, the greatest voice of act times, I would say the most gentleman, the most well-dressed and the most Swachh in every sense of the term that you can find, promoting this great cause. Thanks to NDTV, Vikram, you're doing a great job for so many years now. I would also like to congratulate my Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji for having brought this, this is not a new thing, but bringing it back to our lives about the importance of cleanliness and why for years we have been taught that cleanliness is next to godliness. And while we did all kinds of pujas and all kinds of dharnas to mandirs and did mannats and all of that, but never did we think that to please the God, probably we need to keep the environment clean. That's one thing that I have seen for a very long time. And while I was listening to Jayaji, yes, there are a couple of things that the government over the years should have done, but I think that this particular government is very serious about it. Many a times I find people asking that, people say that, okay, Swachh Bharat, but what are we getting? Is the price going to go down if I plant a tree? I really find people, as I meet them, ask this question, Swachh Bharat, well, it's a great thing, but we are not getting anything out of it. I tell them that instead of thinking of getting something out of the government, why don't you give something back? And the question of planting trees, I remember that in Lokhandwala, where I stayed, very close to Bachchan Sahab's Pratiksha or Mannat, I am the chairman of a society just in Swami Samarth Nagar in Lokhandwala, and I personally paid from my pocket to have benches in the names of my grandfather, grandmother, maternal grandfather and all that, and planted trees all around that. People saw me, they thought probably I'm out of work, why would I stand on the road to get those trees planted? And I did the same thing a week back in my constituency in Asansol. I urged people that the 5 crores that I get in the MP-led funds, I make a lot of concrete and blacktop roads all over the places. Now, our government is by the people, for the people, of the people. So we should not probably leave everything to the government. Why do we need to travel from Kolkata and reach maybe Diamond Harbour and then join a ceremony to celebrate Swachh Bharat mission of the Honorable Prime Minister? What he says, and what I genuinely believe, that charity begins at home. Just try planting 2 trees on 2 sides of your gate. You try 2 gulmars, one red and one yellow. If anyone would care to walk into my bungalow in Delhi, I mean the one that which is not mine, but I get to maintain as for being the minister. I'm the gardener there, I'm the cleaner there, I'm often the scavenger cleaning my dogs, this thing. And I would bring one small sweet memory. I was introduced to the stores like Home Depot and all these places when I first traveled to America with Bachchan Sahab's as a newcomer in 1993. That's how my career started. Thank you, sir. My first time my passport got stamped. And I was intrigued to see that the biggest of people, they don't have chauffeurs there. They drive their own cars. When you talk to them, you found out they're huge doctors, huge businessmen, huge people. But yet, they do their own gardening, they clean their own cars. And I was very intrigued by that. I was a newcomer in Bombay. They had just come to Bombay, got a small place by my society in Lokhandwala. And I actually bought lots of equipments from Home Depot. They call it khupri and shovel, and where you can cut those, you just cut big plants and you can just cut them in one shot. And I still use them. Every time I go, I carry a lot of them. In my house, I have to ensure that when I'm, putting cow dung or probably, this सरसों का जो बीज आफ्टर तेल निकल जाने के बाद जो बचता है, उसको अगर आप काव डंग के साथ अच्छे से मिलाते हैं तो खुशबू जो है वो बहुत बेहतरीन है. आसपास के लोग आपको बहुत दुआ देते हैं, बहुत ही खराब है, लेकिन उसको अगर करेक्ट स्पॉट में रख के उसको किस तरीके से मैन्योर बनाना है और फिर मैं खुद अपने बड़े बड़े गुलाब हो या कुछ भी हो, I find it so liberating to do gardening myself and keep my outside clean. You know, even the outside of my house, to keep it clean. And one last thing is that, you know, we have a lot of problems. Problems की तो कोई कमी नहीं है. अगर जब आप रूम के अंदर ना ऐसे प्रॉब्लम से थक जाए ना, तो उस प्रॉब्लम से दूर जाने का बेस्ट जगह है धरती माँ के पास चले जाओ दूर कहीं, और वहाँ पे एक कोने में कुछ खोद के एक प्लांट लगाओ, उसका एक नाम जैसे बच्चन साहब बोल रहे थे, एक सुंदर सा नाम दे दो, एंड देन सी दैट ट्री ब्लॉसम, गिव फ्लावर्स एंड प्रोबेबली bear fruits, and you will feel that swachhata inside of you. You will feel very proud and good about it. So don't leave everything to the government. Bring in the charity at home, plant your own tree on two sides of your gate, and you are going to love it.
Amit ji?
Thank you so much, Supriyo. Thank you very much. बहुत अच्छी अच्छी बातें बताएं कि स्वयं अगर आप अपना काम करेंगे, स्वयं आप प्रयत्न करेंगे पेड़ उगाने का, ट्री प्लांटेशन का, साफ़ सफाई का, तो एक आप उदाहरण बन जाते हैं आपके इर्द गिर्द जो लोग रहते हैं. और यही हमारा एक संदेश था जब हमने कहा था ये 10 गज़, मेरे 10 गज़ की 10 गज़ ज़मीन अपने चारों तरफ अगर उसको साफ़ सुथरी रखेंगे तो पूरा इलाका जहाँ आप रहते हैं वो सब साफ़ हो जाता है. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आपका, सुप्रियो.
But Babaji, just want to very quickly just ask you a thing. At the end of the day, you are the Minister for Heavy Industries. There are lots and lots of land that public sector enterprises, for example, have, and they quite often don't know what to do with it. So to that point, to that extent, it may be something to consider that if there's actually some land which is lying waste and banjar, maybe it can be used to have a systematic tree plantation out there. Maybe that is one of the ways that public sector enterprises can use their committed CSR funds, for example.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you, and in many of those places, governments, the state governments which are getting those lands, they are working on it, and definitely once such new projects come up, they are going to have a lot of green space, they are going to have a lot of playgrounds and flowers all around. So yes, that's a good thing that we are working on, and I hope that it's not too heavy a work that I won't be able to accomplish. I'm trying towards it.
All right. Babul Supriyo, it's always a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much for joining us.